Thank you, Avirup, for such an amazing session on IoT and digital twins. Our next speaker is from Pune, who is currently working with NDHM, that is National Digital Health Mission by the Government of India. She is going to speak on the novel lens to health tech. Please put together for Namrata More.
Hi everyone, am I audible? Okay. And how are you guys? All good? After lunch, after one session, I think the audience is pretty good. I saw from the beginning a lot of questions, a lot of interactive activities going on. So, novel lens to health tech. Okay. Health tech is a term which is very new, right? Have you ever heard health tech before? Anything related to health tech before? No? Fintech before? Yeah, little bit like that. So if you see, my profile is a technical product manager at Bajaj Finserv Health. And yeah, I think when we listen about Bajaj, the first thing I used to get in my mind was auto. Then it was fan. Then maybe it was, when it comes Bajaj Finserv, maybe a little bit towards insurance, finance, right? Bajaj Finserv Health is not that. Finserv Health is a new startup of Bajaj which is completely into IT sector and which is trying to solve all of the financial problems that Bajaj solved as a Finserv, trying to solve that using IT, using technology that we have right now. And that is why health tech, because if I say fintech, not a lot of people will be interested, I feel. But when I say health tech, this goes more towards the health part of it. So let's see first, like as I expected, a lot of us know about fintech more. What do you know about fintech? Any guesses? I'll just click this and you can, yeah. Okay, right. Then anything else? That's pretty much what fintech talks about. Financial technology, how finance we see into technology. These are some of the things I feel, like blockchain, payments, insurance, investment, personal finance. All of these terms are not something we learn in our universities, not something we learn in our professional career as well. But these are things we need in our day-to-day life. Today I'm not talking about financial technology. I will be talking about more of problems that any field related to tech needs, and the problems are that the user never knows what he wants. The user is always so unpredictable that it is very difficult to understand what do I present in front of the user that he'll need. And because of the very messy and unpredictable nature that we all of us have, any product that we design anytime, it's very difficult to know the concluded product of it. So that is why currently, as I said, we'll focus only on health tech. Why? Because health tech is something I am currently working on, and it's a very new branch which people are not aware of. But since COVID, I think we all are more towards health sector. Previously, it was more like you will say, I will not do something as a preventive measure to health. Apart from insurance, that too, I think a lot of people bought insurance during COVID because we thought to go towards that field. Or else जब बीमार पड़ते हो तभी डॉक्टर के पास जाओगे, right? So health is something we ignored, and that is something IT field, the whole technology also ignored. My startup also started during the COVID times itself, and that is when they realized that the whole medical field somehow has to go digital. And the same way, as in my introduction, she specified I'm working with Government of India currently, because even the government said that they want to shift towards IT sector for the health industry. How is, we'll see, health with tech lens. What government is trying to do is, you as a patient go to a doctor, do stuff, you get some files, you get some all the medicines. Now, for example, I have had a treatment in 2011. Today is 2022. And today I am looking for the same file all over my cupboard and I'm not getting that file. What will I do? I don't have an option, right? I have to get that file. What government is trying to do is get all of that data from the hospitals and upload all of it to a centralized repository with the government. which will be called as Abha. It will be Ayushman Bharat digital account. This will be an account that will be created for you as a person, and like you have Aadhaar, the same way we all will have Abha as an entity with all of us. So what it does is, it's a patient's end, this is the provider end. Provider is anything, consider lab, doctor, anything, hospitals, and there's a digital healthcare system that will work towards it, and that is what we'll call healthcare ecosystem. Now, this whole healthcare ecosystem is given by the government just so none of us are really bothered about the data, because I don't want my data to be shared with anyone without my consent. If I don't want to share my report with a certain person, I don't want to share. So if I'm not giving a consent, it should not be shared, and that is why government is involved in this. Now, how it works a little bit, just to give you a alignment, all of us have bank accounts, right? And all of us use UPI payments. Now, since health tech is a part of fintech, what fintech does is any part of it will be aligned to itself. So like we have bank account and UPI. Bank account is same as Aadhaar number, and UPI is same as Aadhaar address. So like you have one bank account and you can create multiple UPI addresses. You have one Aadhaar number and you can create multiple Aadhaar addresses inside it and work with it. To add all of your documents, your say certificates, documents, reports, scans, everything. And that is how it aligns. Very simple architecture. You can say Aadhaar address needs phone number and Aadhaar ID needs Aadhaar card. So it's linked with your Aadhaar, so it's very safe with your authenticated numbers and stuff. One Aadhaar ID can have multiple Aadhaar addresses. And the provider journey says if I am a doctor or if I have a hospital, I have a laboratory, then I can register it also as with the government of India. And similarly, like a patient, I can also upload everything from my sites that I have of the patients. And the consent journey, as I said, nothing, no data is basically lost from your side as far as you don't give a consent to it. So this is what the Abha thing is. Now moving a little ahead from Abha, when you say, okay, any doubts till here related to the Abha account, the healthcare ecosystem? Because going ahead, we will talk more about how the health tech is working, or how health is getting converted into tech, was the product approach of it. So, any queries till now? No. Okay, cool. Then, yeah. So this is a slide which I think I present everywhere where I talk about anything, because I'm a product manager as a base. This is something which I had been taught as lesson 1, that is why, how, and what. I think when I'm in Gujarat, I think the first thing that comes into mind is business. Gujaratis are meant for business, right? It's said, I don't know, it's said that Gujaratis have business in their blood somewhere. So, you know, even if you're working as an employee somewhere, you're thinking about a startup. I want to have something of my own. And why I want to have something of my own is the first question you should ask yourself, I think, if you want to be an entrepreneur. First thing is why, because you don't just start with anything. I just created an amazing app and I'll start, promoting this app and this will be my startup. No. Why are you doing this? Why? I mean, why is basically the reason that you're trying to solve for a person, for a cohort. Cohort is a group of people, for a certain number of people, for a certain genre. Whom are you trying to solve? Then comes the how. How involves all of your technologies, your tech stack. How will you solve? So when I see all of you here, of course, I assume at least 85 to 90% of all of us are into technology already. And the rest are willing to go into tech. That's why we are here. So the how is something we will be deciding on the basis of the analysis that we already know. How should I build my product? And the what should never be, stopped somewhere. What is basically the phase? What the first phase will be the MVP that I'll make. If I want to create Instagram, I'll first create a very small social media platform. I'll see if people like that. That'll be my MVP, phase 1. And then the what should always be increasing. But your why and how should be freezed before you go to your what. And this is I feel the first step towards what government or what health tech, fintech thought about. They knew the why and they knew the how. The what was not getting started, but after COVID, people actually got to move towards health, and that is when that tech lens came in, and then fintech started about thinking on health as well. So that's one. How many of students are here? A lot of students, nice. So this is more for the students. We all do a lot of projects, right? We do projects from first year till final year. And how do we do projects? So I think I'll tell you what I used to do in my first second year at least. I used to go on GitHub, find an amazing library, इधर on TensorFlow और GitHub पे जाके कुछ open source बहुत अच्छा solution ढूंढ के, then I used to create a problem out of that, and then I used to show that to the teacher. This is what I'm solving. First I have the solution, I'll run, I'll see there are no errors in that, then I'll create a problem and I'll show. This is what we usually do. That's why, or maybe we are amazing at tech, that's why our technical results are amazing. We're amazing at technology, we're amazing at results. These two are technical and results. Our design is so. We are like, as far as my output is there, as far as my code is working, why should I care about design? As far as my button click पे redirection हो रहा है, everyone should be fine. Why do you need the button to be really nice? I mean, that is what techies think, right? That is what all of us think. But when you want to build a product and not just a project, you have to think of something that you will use yourself. We ourselves take up so many bugs every day that the apps that we use, right? Uber use karte ho, WhatsApp use karte ho. WhatsApp mein also we get bugs. So obviously, if you are thinking about WhatsApp, which is already at such a great level, if you want to convert your project into a product that you want to pitch to someone. I think lunch I was talking to 3-4 people, and we were literally discussing on, if we are here today right now, I think all of us have some ideas in our mind and we want to build something at least. So if we want to build something at least, we should keep in mind that the design and the product view has to be good if you want to move it to a business model. And that's the first thing that you do. PPT are 3 things. It's not a PPT, it's people, process and tech. The 3 things that at least I follow. First is people, that is the first person view. If I am the first person, will I use that app? Will I use that web? Architecture and mapping. The process is very important. Very basic example. Today we are at Dayfest Baroda, and if there would be no planning, no process involved, would this be so good? Would this be so aligned? No, right? If agenda was not given to you, if it would be like जो speaker आता है उसको stage पे चढ़ा के बोल देंगे चालो जाओ, नहीं चलता, right? You have to have some planning, some architecture. That is very important to get something out of the initial phase to a great phase. And the third part is the tech, which you have to keep on improving. You have to analyze, you have to keep on improving, build, then run, build and runs. जैसे काफी processes होते हैं where you analyze. You have amazing tools like Google Analytics, Firebase, which give you a lot of analytics, which tells you what to improve exactly in what section. So that is the third part. Then when you go to product approach again, innovation is very exciting. I innovated amazing stuff. I pitched in front of the investors. किसी ने idea चुरा के कर दिया publish. What will you do, right? So when you say, there are 2 things to this. One, if you have amazing idea and if you know your idea is very novel, don't just pitch in front of anyone directly. Beforehand, make sure if your idea is really novel, make sure you have some paper published or you have some patent applied at least applied. Patent मिलना काफ़ी बड़ी बात होती है. It's 8-9 years का process sometimes, but at least application of it is very important. And information hierarchy is very important. So information hierarchy is when you tell others what your brand is about. Okay, you'd say that was too cliche, but Oreo, right? These are big brands. Like let's see Oreo first. So Oreo launched its longest packet on 21st June, which was the longest day of the year. Now, when something like this is published by Oreo, which is a nice brand, I will also repost, right? Oreo is not giving me to repost this. This is unpaid promotion, which Oreo gets just because they have creative things that they show. So if you want your brand to be creative, or you want your brand ka, unpaid promotion, I think something creative like this is very important. This is infographics. Then Tesla. So Tesla says all our patents belong to you. You also know, I also know that Tesla key target audience is very, very different than all of us. But even then, I would also repost and you would also repost if something like this is posted by Tesla. Just because they tell you that, yeah, we all my patents belong to you. It's nice to, hear that out. And that's why it said if the consumer, the user is the first thing that I focus, it's the king, then queen is infographics. And let's see an example. So colors. Being techies, I think colors is something we don't align to it much. As I said before, button agar work kar raha hai, why do you want to look on the colors? वो बाद में देख लेंगे, designer देख लेगा, UX क्यों है? But I think that is what is very important. Let's try out this. Any guesses of what brands these are from the colors, if you could just guess? Yeah? Okay. Meta. First, second, Spotify, okay, third, last, someone was saying something. Yeah, okay, this, third, fourth, WhatsApp, this, okay, little different, okay. Okay, Skype, let's see maybe. Yeah. So I think we usually tend to see what we use more, right? Like Facebook, Spotify, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Google. I wrote Facebook because even now in my mind it's still Facebook, not Meta. So the thing is, these brands have gone into our mind so much that looking over 4-5 colors, we're able to guess the brand. Look at the strategy they have. We use those brands so much that just looking at 4 colors. I mean, these colors are not that different also. These two, it's I think just 3 colors, just different shade maybe. But even looking at that, we're able to guess the brand. I think this is what my motive would be. I want to have my brand here, that people just with color scheme of it. That too, I think most of them have white also. One of the color is white. So nice, no? I mean, for the founders, for the people who actually designed that for the first time, this is an achievement. For any human brain, like if you consider even the whole world, I think approximately 70 to 80 people would guess this correct because they have that in their mind. And this is what I think my product I would like to be. Create such a infographics, create such colors, create so much impression that your colors are into their mind. Okay. One more guess. Yeah. I think, yes. Okay. This was also something I think so much in our mind that we actually know what it is. So, yeah, this is also one of the examples. So, in case you're not able to read that out, I'll just read it out for you all. I am thrilled to announce that I'll be joining Netflix this summer as a premium subscriber. And look at the likes and the comments. So the reactions are 45540 and there are 2074 comments over it. People are not reading your reviews, just looking at the color, the logo, and they're like, I think ye banda place hua hai. Right? And they'll just react it like mad, they'll react on it. So this is what happens most of the time. When you show certain things to people, they tend to actually go and see that on the first impression. We have reels ka zamana, no? We don't have more than 10 seconds to look at a certain thing. That second second, I'll swipe. That's what happens, right? And that is when the colors, the schemes, the infographics play the major role, and that is how it happens. So, okay, do you remember these problems that we saw in the starting? How do we solve these problems? Any guesses how do we solve these problems? So if you say a user never knows what he wants, मुझे नहीं पता what the user, what should I exactly pitch to the user? How should I exactly pitch to the user? Because if it's an app, if it's a web, if it's a physical product, how do I know what would you like? So, okay, just some help. Recommendation engines. This is what our big brands do. The brands that we just saw, like LinkedIn, Facebook, all of these do recommendation engines. And on these sector, so lining this more towards health tech or fintech is that what happens is, when you say health tech, when you say Amazon has pretty much easier, right? If I'm buying a, if I'm looking for a bicycle, for example, they'll suggest me for another bicycle of another brand. Now if I'm at a platform like Bajaj Finserv Health or Practo, for that matter, I'm looking for a medicine, you cannot recommend another medicine to me, because it's a medicine, dude, right? Or if I'm looking for a lab, if I'm looking for, say, sonography, you cannot recommend me some other lab test. It has to be the same. So it is very difficult when it comes to health tech, how do we recommend? And that is why some very small little, very basic algorithms that we follow is something I'll just go through. So this is the basic architecture that anyone has. This is CleverTap. So anyone of you have heard CleverTap? This is the CleverTap architecture which we followed as a basic, and then we created our own. And very basic logics is something we'll see. There are two major types of recommendation engines. One is content-based filtering. Content-based filtering works like, let's take an example of books. You all like books? Not sure. I like books. So I'll take an example of books maybe. So say I am reading Harry Potter. Very basic, everyone knows. It's a imaginary book. Yeah? Fiction. Now there's another fiction book called Alchemist. Both are fiction. Both the content is compared. I say some platform, Amazon, for example. Amazon pe I bought Harry Potter. There's another fiction book, Alchemist. The platform will recommend me Alchemist because the content is compared. It's content-based filtering. I read a book. A similar book will be recommended to me. This is content-based. Then comes collaborative filtering. Here, what happens is two users are compared. So for example, I am buying books from last 6 months. There's another user who's buying books from last 6 months. We both are now similar users for the platform. Now, if I buy Harry Potter, then, and some other person who is also buying a lot of books, then this Harry Potter will be recommended to that person. So like if B, say A and B are similar users, and A reads some book, then A is also recommended to B. This is how it happens. Your users are compared, collaboration, and content-based mein content is compared. So the difference in both of this is, content mein, if you have a lot of content on your platform, then the contents are compared. If you have a lot of users on your platform, users are compared. It depends on what the platform wants to do. Platforms like YouTube, which has amazing recommendation engine, uses both. It takes an input of both, combines it, and gives us recommendations. That's why YouTube's recommendations have been amazing throughout. I think, at least for me, Spotify is amazing, I agree, but I still use YouTube when I really want to know, when I really just click on one song and then it just plays. I have to do nothing because I trust under YouTube's recommendations. They're amazing. I think they use this, and that is what I followed as a very basic logic. Any questions in this? Because after this, we'll just go through a small quiz, sort of. Went a little down. Anyway, so, okay, the alignment I think is little one. So it's item and users in one below the other. And if we say LinkedIn, what is the item that is that LinkedIn has, and what is the users that LinkedIn has? Any guesses? What is the item that that LinkedIn will promote, and what are the users that LinkedIn will promote? Yeah? Okay. Item and users are? Members, users, yeah. Amazon, what will be the item, what will be the user? Yeah, users will be everywhere, members are users. And item on Amazon can be products, right? Any products, anything. Netflix? Okay. 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 I hope that comes out nicely. Okay. So members, I think the alignment is little missed, but members are basically members, as you said, users, and items are these. So items in LinkedIn are members, for Amazon it's products, and for Netflix it's movies, right? So what happens is these are the content based filtering, and these, okay, I think it's little missed, I'm not sure, I think it's because of the PPT change. Anyway, so here what we are telling is, where you see items, right, the items that we align, these are content based filtering. When the items are taken up for segregation, that's the content based filtering, and when users, like the members, are compared, then that is the collaborative filtering. This is just to show you both the filtering strategies. And I think this is what I usually talk about. This is the line that I really like, that we become what we behold, and then we shape our tools, and then the tools shape us. When the example of this I'd say is that we sort of made computers, and today computers decide if I want to go on a vacation to Goa. They decide, right? So even recommendation engine works on the same motto, that it's me who creates the logic on or the algorithm for the recommendation engine, and then the engine decides of what I will buy or what should be recommended to me, what should I read or whatever, wherever you recommend. And how do we mitigate our confusion? In not only in career, in terms of anything, or in terms of building any product, it's, I think, build efficiently, measure success, and learn. Build efficiently is, as I said, first you have to build something with the 3 strategies that we saw, that is why, how, and what. That is how you build. Then you measure success with the help of analytical tools that we talked about, like CleverTap, Google Analytics, and a lot of others like Branch and stuff. And then you learn out of it. If you don't learn, the learn part is basically the what, the outermost part, that of what was. Once you stop learning, once you stop phasing your product, I think that is where you stop, and that is where you fail maybe, or whatever you call it. And then you repeat. Once you learn, you again repeat it, because only you know my product is bad and you don't actually improve on it, there's no point in it. So that is what it is. And I think combining dots to work out stuff, being collaborative, being in such events like GDG, and being in the community, networking with people. I think even my first internship, I had gone somewhere around networking in GDG Pune, and that is how I think I had been throughout where I am today. Yeah, combining dots to work on stuff, and thank you. Any questions, any queries, anything? We saw a lot of different things. Yeah.